From Marmo Studio, here's Jim Brodden.
Our guest in the studio is Jamie Ornelas. Just becoming a full-time artist?
I just became a full-time artist at the end of September. I took the leap and I talked to my husband. I said, I feel like it's time, and I've been hustling and networking ever since then. Before September, I was part-time artist, and I quit my career of insurance almost 5 years to walk on this path. And so I'm going full speed ahead now.
What is the genre of your art?
Visual art. So it's really interesting because half of my art is bubbly and colorful with acrylic paints. And then the other half of my art is really dark and charcoal of women.
5 years in the insurance business.
Almost 4.5.
Okay.
Yes.
Harboring the desire to be an artist all this time?
Well, I'm from Baytown, Texas.
Yes.
And, I'm born in El Paso, but I grew up in Baytown. And I always had a natural talent for art.
Yeah.
People always told me that I should pursue that and make it my life. But I didn't believe that it was worth anything. I didn't believe that people appreciated art.
Yeah.
Because just the town that I was in didn't really have a good culture with art. And so I joined insurance. I had a promising future. I managed a team. I trained people.
Right.
I had a lot of clients. And my husband and I came to Galveston a lot. And I saw the art that was appreciated here and the art that was selling. And I was getting more and more frustrated that I wasn't doing this because I know I could. And so my last year in insurance, it was really heavy on me that I need to do it or I'm going to regret not taking the chance. And so I did. I went ahead and quit my insurance career full.
Yeah.
And I joined a 9-to-5 so that I can have the mental energy to create art. And I did that for 1 year, and now I'm full-time.
Okay, so what you did, you left the insurance, which was a very demanding business.
Oh, yes.
with probably no real set hours.
No, I think I was working on average 60 to 80 hours a
Yes.
week. And I'm a mom, too, and a wife, and my own person. And it was just not feasible mentally to create art, to feel
Not
anything.
a lot of space for creativity.
Not a lot of space, not at all.
What was it like, and how long did it take you to sort of make that decision to jump out?
It was hard. I talked to a lot of people in my circle of what I should do. I talked, of course, to my husband, and he's always been supportive. I talked to my best friend. I talked to my boss. I didn't know how to break it to my boss until I was sure that this is what I wanted to do, because from that world, it's pretty demanding, and I'm the type of person that I want to please people. I want to do the best I can. I want to put my best foot forward. So I did a lot for the branch that I worked for, and I knew that if I quit, it would mean a lot to them.
Right.
It took about a year of going back and forth, feeling like I can do both, or trying to sway myself to make it work and juggle everything. My head boss had lunch with me, and he said, let's try to cut your hours here. And we tried, but insurance is the type of business that if you don't give 100%, then you're not really going to make much for yourself.
Yeah.
So I made the decision.
Good for you. And the other thing is sometimes people within one industry, particularly those that are committed to it, don't really understand there are other places to make a living.
Yeah.
And certainly don't understand the creative side of things.
Yeah.
Did you get this? You're going to what?
Yes, I did. My immediate boss, she was my mother figure. She was really sweet and understanding. You could tell it was hurtful to her that I made the decision, but she didn't try to stop me. She tried to figure out different ways, but once it came down to it, she gave me her blessing. She said, if this is what you want to do, then I understand. But my head boss, the boss over her, he was not very happy. He was very bothered with it. His exact words to me were, when are you going to grow up? Whenever I told him I quit. And he told me that his wife wants to be an artist. And this is a man who makes almost $250,000 a year.
Right.
And he said that his wife wants to be an artist, and he's poured over $100,000 into her, and look where she is. And I thought that was such an eye-opener to the person who tried to help me with my future. And it was just understanding that just two different worlds, two different perspectives, and that's okay. It hurt emotionally, but that's okay.
Yeah, you're right. Wow. What a story, and what a story of commitment. I mean, I dropped out of industry as well,
Yeah, really.
but like almost 40 years ago.
How did that go?
I had a very supportive wife.
Yes.
And she said, Jim, I know you're not having a good time doing what you're doing. She was certainly doing well at that time. And she said, why don't you pursue your dream? So I dropped out
That's awesome.
and became a voiceover and on-camera actor. And within 2 or 3 years was equaling what I'd been doing in the private sector.
That's awesome.
So there's some.
I
I'll
have
speak
chills
from
thinking about that.
firsthand experience. I can tell you it's possible. And this is meant to be your podcast, not mine. All
No,
I can say,
that's okay.
all I can
That
say
helps
is
me
if you have been active in business and you know a sense of linearity and the need to get things done, the commitment of
Yes.
your time and to getting product out the door.
Yes. I think
you will do well.
Everything happened for a reason. And I learned a lot about how to run a business when I was in insurance.
Yes.
I learned about the quarterly commitments and numbers and marketing and how to present yourself and make yourself committed to something. And what's beautiful is that I now get to do all of that for my passion. And it's crazy. Like this morning, I spent 4 hours painting a float with Catherine for Mardi Gras. And these are the things I wouldn't have been able to do that if I stuck in the industry for insurance. I get to show my son that you can follow your dreams no matter what. I get to show myself and feel internally that I'm enough. And that's something I never have been able to feel before, because I always felt like I was auditioning for approval for my boss or for my clients or for my husband because I was working so many hours, or for my son. And now it seems to all come together just because I'm confident and happy with myself. And I mean, I'm in my first few months, and it's rocky, but I know and I can feel in my bones that this is what I'm supposed to be doing, and it's going to be okay.
That is so good to hear. And I have to say that you talk about the auditioning process in the business world. She's going to have to leave the interview for just a moment because she is going to make a sale. Isn't that just great? Yeah, so Jamie, we had to take a quick break from our podcast because you had to go out into Marmo proper
Yes.
and close on a deal.
And of course, it makes me super happy that I get this opportunity. So yeah, we were here talking, Jim, and I just got pulled aside. Somebody wanted to buy one of my largest pieces that I've ever made, which is really nice.
Even
and it
better.
feels good.
Yeah.
It was a picture of a cow skull. I like bones.
Yeah.
I am one of those people that I'm wearing bone earrings right
Yeah.
now. I have a bones aesthetic at my house along with bubbly colors, much like my arts. And so
Wow.
this picture that was purchased, it was a pink cow skull. The background was a mixture of yellow and green, and some flowers were around the cow skull. So I think they were blue and pink. And I think it's real interesting that okay, how do I explain this? I'm infatuated with Gothic style. Gothic like the 1800s and the 1900s style. And I feel it when I see Gothic aesthetic, but whenever I put pen to paper, it comes out bubbly and colorful.
How in the world does that intellectual and creative transition happen internally? What happens? It's like you put in one thing and another thing comes on the other side.
Exactly. Yes. Whenever I go to buy art supplies, I get charcoal, which I'm really good with charcoal.
That would lend
And
itself to the
that's
Gothic.
the other
yeah.
half of my art.
Yeah.
But whenever I look at colors, I don't like the dark colors. I like the poppy yellows and the pastel pinks and pastel greens. So it's really interesting, and it's really hard to mix the two, but I want to, and I'm working on that. There was one store here in Galveston that they're more Gothic aesthetic, and I went to go prospect to see if they would be a business partner with me, and they asked what kind of art I do. I knew what they were asking, but I tried to avoid it. I just said visual arts, and he said that's not what I was asking. Like, what do you draw? And I told him, I said I really like the Gothic aesthetic, but it comes out rainbows and sunshine every time. So the skull that just sold was a very pop culture type of cow skull.
I'm reeling from this. Do you think that it comes out bright and vivid and bubbly because that's where you are right now?
Well, I'm always bubbly.
Yeah.
That's one of the things that they liked me in the insurance for, and anywhere I go, is that my character is very bright and just jumpy and bubbly. I'm out in the middle of Marmo dancing because I like every song that comes on. But no, I think because growing up, I really liked the Gothic aesthetic, but my dad was very traditional American dad, and he was always worried that if I follow a dark path,
Demonic.
Yes, he would always say, "Don't do that, because don't get tattoos, don't get piercings. You're gonna go and do drugs and go to jail." And so I had to suppress that. I never got
Baytown.
to go in Baytown. Yes.
Okay.
And my poor dad now.
Baytown listeners, I'm sorry. Nothing.
Oh, no.
Nothing offensive.
I'm sure people in Baytown understand, because it's just like they understand. We all have a Facebook page that we go on there and joke with each other about the lack of culture in Baytown. It's just, it's big on Exxon and refineries, and it's small on culture. But growing up, I wasn't allowed to embrace my love for Gothic and dark things. And so I learned to appreciate quote unquote girly pink things. And so now whenever I want to express the inner dark side, it's hard for me to get that out. So the other 50% that I mentioned earlier of what I do have that's dark, it's a theme called veiled women.
Yeah.
And so with charcoal, it comes out very easy for me, very natural to draw women with veils covering their face.
Perfect medium to do that.
They're beautiful. Oh my gosh. They just make me so happy whenever I do it. And so it's really interesting.
So you don't find anything dark with the veil at all?
No, I think it brings mystery, because you see a woman and their face is covered and you wonder, is she happy? Is she just obeying? Is she mischievous? What is she up to?
Right.
You don't know. Even if you can see through the veil and see her face, you still have the curiosity of what's behind the veil. What is she up to?
We'll try to share some images with the podcast.
Yes.
All right. We also will go ahead and at the tail of the podcast or in the description, we'll put some links.
Yeah, I have a website I
to
can
your
send
things.
it to.
Yeah, do that. And we'll put that on there, even though it's an audio only podcast.
Yeah.
We can take them to some of your stuff and some of your website, etc. And I am so thrilled that you had to leave our podcast interview to
Me
sell
too.
something.
I'm
All right.
thrilled too.
I'd like to ask this question to people that are starting out and are enjoying some success, as you evidenced by tonight are. Advice to other youngsters who may be coming through a similar environment where you have to repress. You were in an environment where you repressed your art for much of until your adulthood. Am I right in that?
Yes.
But you still managed to find it.
Yes.
So it wasn't eliminated.
No.
So advice to people who are stuck in a lifestyle that requires that repression. And how do you keep a hold of that creative ability and a creative inner self?
For me, I would say surround yourself with people. So my husband and I moved to Galveston 2 years ago, and the culture here is very art positive. And we hung out with people from the proletariat, and they took us in. The more we come around, the more familiar the people who live there were with us, and they would be more inviting. And just surround yourself with the environment of people that you want to be like, whether it's creative, whether it's whatever you're looking for. Because if you're just in your own world by yourself and you don't see anybody else like you, it's very hard to hold on to that. It's very easy to suppress it and push it away. But if you find people that are like you, even if they're not exactly like you, if they see you and accept you and promote you for just being who you are, surround yourself with that. And then the feeling that you have of wanting to be creative, it's going to be so loud you can't ignore it. And it'll become a lot easier to follow that passion.
Even if you're working 60 to 80 hours in the insurance business.
You might quit. So be careful if you don't
That's
want
right.
to.
If you want a steady income stream, think twice.
Yeah, if you want a steady income, if you don't want to be the starving artist for a couple of years, then don't do it yet. But if you're willing to take that on, it might be dangerous on how powerful you feel.
Well, and there's nothing wrong with monetizing your art. And
No,
it's
not
possible.
at all. Yeah.
But it takes the same discipline
Yeah.
as any other industry does.
The way I see it is I didn't go to college, and you hear college kids joking that ramen noodles are their main course of meal. And here I am in my quote-unquote college years of my art career, and I'm eating ramen noodles 4 times a week. That's okay.
It's been a great conversation with Jamie Ornelas. Her contact information is on the header of this podcast. Jamie, thank you so very much for your candor and your sharing.
Thank you, Jim.
And good luck on your success.
Thanks. I'll take it.
From Marma Studio, you've been listening to Jim Bratton. This is Sierra Sakol.